Hello, and welcome to this demonstration in LUSAS of the slicing facility, including the new version 16 functionality. Today we're going to be looking at what slicing is, how you can model it in LUSAS, and looking at the changes in version 16. So if you have results, you can use slicing to integrate to get forces and stresses on individual members. You can then build up a cross-section and use that to calculate effective total effects, such as moment and axial force. So why would you use shell slicing? The main reason is that shell models are more accurate than grillage models, but design codes assume you are designing on beam members. Therefore, you can model shells for accuracy and convert to beam results for code checks. It also allows you to do both local and global checks in the same model. You can look at local effects on the slab, as well as the global effects on the composite beam. So here's a structure we're going to look at in a demonstration. It's got 4 longitudinal eye girders with a composite deck slab on top. We've got 3.2 metre spacing between the girders, and we've also got cantilevers of 1 metre on one side and 2 metres on the other. In plan, we've got 3 spans on a curved deck with a total bridge length of 163 metres. So what options do we have if we're using shell models? Well, we could use shells for every single element. That's the slab, the beam web, and also the beam flanges. Alternatively, we could look at just using shells for the top slab and for the web, using beam elements for the flanges. Even we could go as far as just using shells for the slab and using a beam member of eccentricity to represent the eye girder. For this example, we'll be using the middle option. So now we're going to switch to a live demonstration in LUSAS. So here we go with the model. Those familiar with LUSAS will know that the pink members are beam members and the green represents shell elements. So let's just have a look at the model in a few different angles. And I'm going to turn off fleshing in order to better see the geometry. So I'm going to select a group which I predefined, which is the centre line of girder 3, and we'll use this to define a slice. So if we go to Utilities Slice Resultants, we can define our slicing parameters. Now what we can do is we can specify the distances along this line that we want to create slices at. I'm just going to say I want one at 0 and use this new option, which will add additional slices everywhere there's a point along the lines that I've selected. I'm going to define a slice width of 3.2 metres, as you'll recall that's the girder spacing, and then I'm going to give this a name of girder 3. Those of you familiar with slicing in previous versions of LUSAS will expect that as soon as I click OK, it will generate the results. But instead, in version 16, instead of creating results instantaneously, what it does is it creates an object in Utilities Tree View. This object being called girder 3 because that's what we named it. So we can go in and edit that if we want to, or we can just keep it with the same settings we already have. And what we can do to actually see the results is do it the same way as we see any other results within LUSAS. So I'm going to add the diagrams layer, and here, as well as showing force moment for the thick 3D beam, we can select beam shell slice results. I'm going to select MY for vertical bending, and here we go. We can see the bending moment generated on that slice. So that's along that centre line for 1.6 metres either side, i.e. 3.2 metres slice width redefined. And if we zoom in here, we can see a red bounding box showing us the extent of the slice. As you can see, that's halfway to either girder, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Next, I want to slice along here for the first beam. This is going to give us some problems because of the geometry. You see here, as we saw earlier, we've got 3.2 metre girder spacing and yet 2 metres on the cantilever. If we define a slice width of 3.2 metres, then we'd only pick up 1.6 metres of that 2 metre cantilever. So instead, we need to find another option. If we go back to the model, you can see that I've defined this group called girder 1. The members of this group only go as far as halfway between girder 1 and girder 2. So if we now select the centre line of girder 1, we can define the slice as previously with Utilities Slice Resultants. Again, I'm going with 0 and the include additional slices. Instead of using the slice width this time, I'm going to say that the extent is girder 1. That means that it can only pick up members that are in the group girder 1. If we look here, and we can see the bounding as being going as far as the centre line between girder 1 and girder 2. Here we see the bending moment, and as you can see, it's generated it. As I said, we can generate results the same way as we can for anything else, which means we can use the print results wizard as well. So we go down here, select beam shell slice resultants, and we can define we want the coordinates as well and generate print results wizard. And here we can see that it's given a name to each slice location. We've got the coordinates and the forces and moments everywhere along there. Thank you for watching this demonstration. I hope you find it helpful in your use of LUSAS.